Welcome back, guys.
Back.
So excited for today's episode. Our main review is going to be Dune.
Dune 2019, not the original.
Dune 2019. And I am...
Is it 2019? Am I stupid?
I am... Yeah, no, you're correct.
Okay.
I think you're... Yeah. No.
No?
It says 2019. It's 2021. 2021. It may have been filmed in 2019 because of COVID. It got pushed back. That could
Yes.
be. But real excited to talk about that. I'm sad that I didn't watch it sooner, but I'm happy because Dune 2 comes out in another month.
In less than a month.
I didn't want to wait that long. Mm-hmm. So, but first of all, we're going to talk about local news. It's not good.
No.
It's that time of the year where everything just flops. There's nothing good coming out. All the studios are just not putting content out. Us personally, we had we made it through. I think we made it through.
We did good on Friday because we had Groundhog's Day.
We did.
We did Ferris Bueller and Groundhog's Day this past weekend.
Yeah, a couple classics, which were fun.
And they did pretty well the weekend.
We did a double feature on Friday night, which was good. I think I'm going to do a lot more of those, you know, if we can find the right movie pairing. I think people liked it. We had 12 or 13 total for that.
Yeah.
Then we had Migration, kids movie for the 20th week, it feels like.
Yep.
Chosen started this week, which is a religious film depicting Jesus Christ's life. It's actually pretty cool because it's a TV show that they're putting in theaters. So we had the first 2 episodes for this first 2 weeks, and then the next 2 weeks will be the next 2 episodes. 3 episodes. Oh, first 3 episodes this week?
Yep, we've got 1 through 3 right now.
Okay.
And then on the 14th, I believe, or on the 15th, 14th or 15th, we switch over to 4 to 6. 5, 6.
Yeah, and then it's just 7, 8.
And
For
then
the last
7, 8 for the final week.
Final
We'll have
week.
it for 2 weeks.
Just
We'll
1
have
week,
just
yeah.
one week,
So that's been okay. I mean, it was kind of a good filler, and I've gotten some heat on Facebook. Some. Did you see that? It's complaining about Christian propaganda we were pushing, and I put whatever movie I think is going to do well here. I've played movies for everybody here. 4 movies, rom-coms, Christian movies, LGBTQ.
Bros.
Bros. I mean, I am.
We got a lot of hate for bros.
We got a lot of hate for a lot of things, and I'm really working hard to not worry about that. Say, hey, this is a diverse community, and we're gonna put stuff that people want to see, And if you don't like what we're playing, don't come and see it, I don't think we put anything that's harmful to anybody, So, but I think Chosen, a lot of people have liked it who've seen it. I haven't heard of any propaganda of any sort. It's a story of Jesus Christ. I mean, but I don't know the issue with that. Regardless of everything. So, but I mean, that'll be going on the next 5 weeks, and I think it'll do okay. I think it's something that people have enjoyed. It's a 3.5-hour movie.
Yeah.
But we're just slugging along. This week's going to be a little bit of the same. We are getting Poor Things with Emma Stone. Now, have you seen the trailer for that?
I have not. I've heard some things. I've seen some clips online.
It's won a lot of awards.
Yep.
And it's I didn't realize this. It's a little bit of Frankenstein involved. And I'm a big Frankenstein fan. Love the book.
All right.
Watch a lot of movies. But basically, Emma Stone is a Frankenstein character, but she's a woman, and I'm going through the world that way. And the trailer looked pretty good. I think I kind of want to see it. Plus, it won a ton of awards, so hopefully that'll do well. Like I said, it's not a big blockbuster. It might not be everybody's cup of tea.
It's kind of like Everything Everywhere All at Once was for us, where we have it for a week or two, and we don't know how well it's going to do. And the first week, it's going to be we're going to not get anyone, but hopefully next week, it will pop off.
Yeah, we're only running it 1 week, but it's before the awards, and it already has won a ton of awards.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that we can bring in that like alt crowd sort of, And it's kind of, I laughed because I saw the trailer, and it was kind of opposite of Chosen. So I was like, I was not that opposite, but it's like you're talking about a guy being resurrected, and a girl finding her sexual liberation through meeting this monster created, So it's different, and that's what I gotta get over the fact that people aren't gonna like. There's always gonna be somebody not happy with what I'm playing or wanting me to play something else, and that's fine. You can do that, And if you want to complain on Facebook, go right ahead. I'm getting used to it.
It's Facebook.
It's Facebook.
It's Facebook. Everyone's going to complain about everything.
But I mean, we're basically just waiting until next week to get to Madam Web and Bob Marley's One Love for Valentine's Day. So that should go well. We're also playing this week Casablanca.
Yes.
So that'll be fun. We haven't seen. I have not seen that. I am going to be watching it in theater at some point this week.
Me too.
It's been on my list, so it'll be a blast. And maybe that'll be our review for next week. It'd be fun to do that.
Okay, yeah.
So maybe we'll plan that out. Maybe watch it together. Who knows? But yeah, we're chugging along here. It'll be okay next weekend, but we're really just waiting for Dune. We're waiting for Dune 2.
First weekend of March. Huge. Kung Fu Panda.
And Dune. Same day release?
I
believe so. So, I mean, we're just waiting for that to kind of breathe some life into this place and pay some bills.
Yes.
But, and it's not just us, too. The whole box office has been down. Argyle was a recent movie that came out. I couldn't get it because it was 3 weeks. Then I could get it for 3 weeks. And then now I tried to get it again, and they wouldn't give it to me. But then after it flopped, I was able to get it for 2 weeks. So I said, forget it. We're not doing it. Heard it was okay, but nothing great.
Kung Fu Panda comes out the 8th.
The 8th, and Dune 2 is the first. Okay, so so go Dune 2 first,
Dune 2, Kung Fu Panda, that's going to be really good.
It's going to be it'll be a good start for us, and then we really kind of take off from there. We only have 3 screens here, so figuring out what works best is kind of tough. So when there's a lot of good movies, it's a little bit easier to say, hey, we don't have to fill it with an older movie, which people like older movies, but the box office and, the return isn't as great. A little bit more risk involved, I feel, there.
Yeah.
So otherwise, that's where we're at locally. Let's hop into nationwide news.
Nationwide news.
What have we got this week? I've read a few different articles, but only you.
So later this year, we've got a new Looney Tunes movie.
Yes, the Looney Tunes. Yeah.
Yes.
What's the title of it again?
The Day the Earth Blew Up.
Yes, that was
the Looney Tunes story.
Now, is this the one? Now, was this the one that's already done and they were shopping around?
No, so that was
Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, so pretty much Warner Bros. Got a lot of hate because they made this movie and had it ready to be put out there, and everyone put their blood, sweat, and tears into making this movie, and then they just scrapped it for a tax write-off.
This also happened with, I believe it was it Catwoman recently?
Yes.
Or was it Catwoman?
With Warner Bros.
Yes, Warner Bros. Again, same company, so I don't know. The studios have a lot of... I don't understand a lot of the movie financing or accounting, they call it. But basically, like, they will move money around for production companies to certain areas to kind of collect all the profits and not pay some taxes. And if they put a movie out, they can and they feel that it's going to be better for them to kind of not show it and use it as a tax write-off. But I think it's silly, though. Like you said, all these hardworking people put their time, energy, and effort into these, scripts and these films, and then just to see it canned at the end, it's very sad. Hopefully that there's some redemption for them down the road, whether it's on a streaming service, Like I hope that they can come back and say, I would put in the time to watch something like that just because it's hard for them, I mean, that could have been one of the actors or actresses' big breaks, we don't know what would have happened there, Supposedly they didn't test well, but. I feel that's part of the risk. You already paid for everything, so it's tough. But Looney Tunes is confirmed this year.
Looney Tunes confirmed this year.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. Did you ever watch Looney Tunes growing up?
Of course,
you did.
Yes.
Okay, wow.
And then Aiden's dad, he does art for Looney Tunes. He does a bunch of.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, so he has the rights to use Looney Tunes characters and Star Wars characters for his art. So he'll do like a Looney Tunes and Star Wars mashups and all that.
Nice.
A bunch of princesses with Looney Tunes characters.
Yeah.
So he makes all this custom art, and so I've been around Looney Tunes stuff forever.
So let's go over Looney Tunes. We got Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, Elmer Fudd. Those are the main 4 usually there.
Yep.
Who else do we got?
We've got Coyote.
Coyote's in that universe.
Yep. Roadrunner.
Is Pepe Le Pew? I don't remember.
Yes. Pepe Le Pew. Yep.
What about Speedy Gonzales? Is he part of the Looney Tunes crowd or no?
He is, but we might not see him anymore because he's...
So these are all dated tunes, Yes. So back in the day, you can get away with a lot of different things,
I think Speedy Gonzales is hysterical.
Oh, no, yeah, it's great.
Current day... media.
Maybe they might not like it, but I think it's the whole Looney Tunes. If you haven't watched any of them, just give them a whirl.
Watch the older ones. Definitely watch the older ones.
They're what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes long? So and it's definitely a different art style, and it's good to know that those were done. Those are like the originals. Cartoons. The cartoons now are incredible all over the place. If we're not even talking about animated, but all the other ones that have came through the past 90s, 2000s. started because of those. They gave those they gave them life and said, hey, you can do something different with your artwork, whether it's art or whether it's vocal talent. I'm bringing it through, and I think same. A lot of them were done by the same artist vocally.
Yeah.
Was it Mel Brooks? No, it was Mel Blanc. Sorry, Mel Blanc. I believe it is. Mel Brooks is also he's the creator of Spaceballs. Yeah. So yeah, that'll be great this year. I mean, I'm sure, that might do better than we think, just because it's been around forever. The Mario effect, it's been, we're talking about grandparents that grew up watching. That's all they had. I mean, that's the thing. Looney Tunes was maybe one of 2 or 3 cartoons kids could watch in the 50s or 60s.
Tunes, Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
Popeye?
Maybe Popeye,
Yeah.
So, when you only have 3 options, you watch them over and over, you fall in love with them, So what's the release date for that?
I don't believe we have a release date yet.
No release date. Okay.
Let's see.
It is once again pulling from previous IP and saying, "Hey, let's see what else we can bring back to the theaters." But they have a system that works.
Set for release of Q2 of 2024. So
really? So summertime. Summertime. Okay.
Summer.
Yeah. There might be room for it then.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be exciting. I saw the poster they did for it, but Bugs Bunny wasn't on there. I was surprised by that.
Yeah.
So
he might be playing the guy that blows up the Earth.
That could be it.
I would not be surprised if he's pretending to be an alien or.
Yeah. Okay. Marvin the Martian's on there too, right?
Yes.
Marvin the Martian is my mom's favorite Looney Tunes character back in the day. So. Looney Tunes. What else we got?
Christopher Nolan compares Dune 2 to being Dennis the Villeneuve's, I believe he's the director.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
To Empire Strikes Back. Compares it
he already saw it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
He compares it to being as good as.
We're gonna hold off on that for now, but
okay.
But that's great to know. I mean, Christopher Nolan and Dennis are. I'm gonna assume they're friends, or they have some knowledge of each other. They both really enjoy each other's work, And after watching, we'll get to Dune. I can't wait to get to Dune. We're gonna get there. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Up next, we've got Carl Weathers.
Yes. Oh man, Carl Weathers. If you don't know Carl Weathers, look him up. He is, one of the iconic action stars from the 80s, 90s, maybe 70s, and all the way up until now. I mean, he played,
He was in Star Wars, and yeah.
I mean, he passed away at 62 or 65.
76.
76. I read that. Okay, 76. Wow. Even Sylvester Stallone said that, Rocky would be nothing without Carl Weathers, you know. Rocky is one of my favorite movies.
Still haven't seen a single Rocky movie.
We're going to work on that. Give him time. He's young. He'll learn. Rocky is also one of the best love stories of all time. Did you know that? It's not a sports movie.
You've talked about this quite a few times.
I mean, I love the boxing in Rocky, but it is a wonderful movie, But yeah, Carl Weathers was hugely involved in the first 4 of those, and then in the later ones, his son took over for the
mantle.
Apollo Creed, yeah, correct. But he unfortunately was killed by the Russian Ivan Drago in Rocky IV.
Yep.
But he was also in Predator. One of my favorite roles of his was Chubbs from Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Where he's
I saw a clip
just happy, just happy, So I mean, he had good range too, He was willing to go, wherever they wanted him, and I think he was definitely. He was great in Star Wars, but it was great to see him back in the later Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it was good to see that he still had that star power, and also what a physical specimen. I mean, him and Arnold went toe and toe. I think with the
physique.
With the physique, but you could tell he cared about his physique, and he cared about his roles, and he chose them, correctly. I feel.
Yeah.
So sad he's gone, 76, but he'll always remember Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
So.
Up next, Sonic 3.
More Sonic 3.
Yeah.
What do we have for Sonic 3 this week?
Jim Carrey will return as Robotnik.
He's back.
He's back.
Jim Carrey. Wonderful. I love it because he said he was done.
Yes.
He said he was done, and done. No more movies at all. But he comes back for Sonic 3.
This is one of his favorite franchises he's ever worked on. He has complete creative control over his character.
which, I mean,
whatever he wants to do, he does. And you can tell if you haven't seen the movies, but if you watch them, he has so much fun in them.
Oh,
it's amazing to see him. He's so lively, so fun, and it reminds me of older Jim Carrey from The Mask and everything.
Nice.
So,
speaking of Jim Carrey, I just read today, I think Ace Ventura's 25 years old today or recently.
I've never seen
Ace Ventura was a classic back then. Jim Carrey, he had a run there. I think it included maybe The Cable Guy, The Mask, and Ace Ventura all came out within the same year or 2 years. I don't know, Dumb and Dumber 2. I think it was Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura, and The Mask all came out within 2 or 3 years of each other and just blew up, rightfully so. But I'm glad he's happy because he's had a lot of struggles in his life with depression, I've read, with some, I think, sibling issues and a spouse or fiance passing away, 5-6 years ago or something like that. But he's really pushed strong. And honestly, he is a wonderful dramatic actor as well. He's played a bunch of different roles on both sides of the field, and they always say the greats can do both.
Yeah.
I mean, perfect example, Robin Williams. He some of his movies, I mean, I would say some of his better movies are the ones he wasn't doing a comedy. I think Good Will Hunting, he was amazing in, And Jim Carrey is, I hope that he doesn't quit. I hope that he keeps picking roles. He's at the point now where I hope he just picks roles that he wants to do.
Yeah.
Because that's when you're going to see the best. And especially if it's a comedy, give him the control. Just say, here you go, Jim Carrey.
Yep.
Do your thing. We're going to love it, He also played this role, I think it was Man on the Moon it was called. He plays Andy Kaufman. Now, Andy Kaufman was this comedian from, I want to say the 50s or 60s. And Andy Kaufman was this wild, different type of comedian, did different stuff on stage, and Jim Carrey played in a biopic of him, and Jim Carrey took it a little too far, I guess. Yeah, he definitely got into the character, and some people on set were not happy about it. But he's dedicated to the craft. He's been around forever, and it's so fun to see him, to see people happy about him in Sonic 3, or in the Sonic series. I remember first when they came out as Robotnik, that people were kind of tentative about. They're like, wait a minute, that doesn't feel right. How did you feel about that?
To me, Robotnik and Eggman is always the big 800-pound fat guy. Mm-hmm. So seeing Jim Carrey as him originally, I hated it, but 25 minutes into the first Sonic movie, I absolutely loved it.
You're good to go?
It was... Like, Eggman has got some pretty funny lines in the games, but he's not the comedic relief. Mm-hmm. But in these movies, he's so funny. Yeah. All right, it's like Bruce Almighty is my all-time favorite character.
Yeah.
But gosh, I want to say Sonic 2 is a close
second.
He's hysterical.
I'll give the Sonic crew credit because they when that first Sonic came out and the trailer came out, there was a lot of heat. A lot of backlash. That People hated it.
Horrible. And it was almost.
And it was mainly the artwork. They didn't like how Sonic looked. That was the big problem.
It was so bad.
But to their credit, they went back to the drawing board and they fixed some things and they put out a solid movie.
They redid the CGI for the entire movie after it was already done.
Yeah.
They remade his character and all that.
And that's I give them props for that because not many studios would do that. And then come back and say, we're going to listen to our audience. And that's mandatory sometimes. Your audience, you have to listen to.
And look at where it's at now.
Yeah, it's huge. I think this one will I think this one will probably be the biggest one. This is one of those series that'll
going to be the best one.
Yeah, does it?
Yeah, we've gotten a lot more confirmed cast members.
Okay.
We don't have a confirmed voice for Shadow yet, but the leaks are saying that Hayden Christensen will be voicing him.
You know what? Good for him. I know that he came back in the recent Ahsoka series. I heard he got his little bit of redemption. Yeah, I heard it was wonderful. So that good for him. I hope he keeps going. Okay, enough Sonic. You have your 5 minutes of Sonic a week.
Yes.
Okay. What's next?
James Cameron says he has ideas for Avatar 6 and 7.
I think it said that he hasn't like good to go. Like he knows exactly what he wants to do.
Yeah. So he says I'll probably be handing the baton on at that point.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe not. Mortality catches up.
No, but maybe not. I mean, even Scorsese's in his 80s still going on. And James Cameron's.
You got to think about how much time it takes to make these movies. All right, and how big they are. I think they just got done wrapping the third or fourth one.
Correct. I think the third one's coming out next year, Christmas. I think is what they're shooting for.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to try to go every year or every other year.
No, I definitely think it's going to be like a once every year.
Well, he wants his
3
big.
years
He
or
wants
so.
this to be his big saga. His
Of
Star Wars, his Harry Potter, his.
And he did that with the first movie. He could have been done.
Yeah,
He could have been
yeah.
done like biggest.
Box off, one of them. Yeah.
One of the biggest box office movies of all time.
Mm-hmm.
He could have been done, and I watched the second one. It wasn't as good as the first, but nothing is ever going to be as good as the first because you have to think about the time it came out. All right, there was no money in the economy at that time.
Yeah.
People were losing their jobs. And they saw a way to escape from that for 3 hours and put themselves into this brand new, luscious world full of freedom that no one had at that time.
Yeah.
That's why so many people clung onto that movie, went back to go see it, because they felt like they were really there, that they had the freedom and all that.
I think this is important because this is something that I've talked about with you and with other people. I think this is why theaters will always exist in some way, shape, or form. Is there something about going into a place and being forced to watch it? You know, when we're at home on our TV, and we all stream. I stream on my phone, I stream on TV, you know.
Yep.
But there's kids, there's pets, there's phone calls, there's text messages, there's work. Sometimes you don't have a full 2 hours to dedicate, so you got to pause it and restart it. But when you walk into a theater, the lights are off, your phones are supposed to be off, and you get time to just take a break. You know, you get 2 hours where you have to pay attention. You know, there's no pause button at the theaters. You have to watch it all in its fullest to catch it all. And I think that is important, and I think it tags into what you said, whereas like it's a great escape for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Now I will kick back on this though. James Cameron is one of the greatest directors of all time.
Yes.
So I'm kind of, I know Avatar is great, but I kind of wish he would maybe, you know, especially in his final years, if he'd do something, because he's been all over that. I know he did Titanic. What else has he done?
James Cameron.
I mean, I want to say, I think I believe Terminators. I don't think I'm wrong about that.
So James Cameron, the Avatar's Titanic, Terminator.
Okay, I mean,
Terminator
like
2, Aliens, The Abyss, True Lies.
True Lies is one of my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. So he's done a lot of
Piranha.
he's done a lot of movies, and I'd love to maybe see him. I'd hate to see him locked down in Avatar until, you know, mortality kicks in, like he says.
Yeah.
But you know, if that's what he wants to do, you know, I'm sure it'll be wonderful.
Yeah.
So. Good for him. Good. I mean, that's great that, you know, that fan group has, you know, excitement over the next, you know, 10 years, you know. And honestly,
At least, yeah.
if they do it right, it can build into, like we said last week, like one of the Avengers films, you know. Any other news?
Yes. Trailer is expected at the Super Bowl.
Oh, yes.
Sunday.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's this Sunday, right?
Yes, this Sunday.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I watch the Super Bowl. I'm usually working every Sunday, but
Yeah, I'm going to be super sick out.
yeah, I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. So, excuse me, what are the big ones we have coming out?
Wicked,
Okay, that's going to be good.
Deadpool 3,
Deadpool 3, of course.
Inside Out 2,
Oh, really? Okay, good to know. What else?
A Quiet Place Day 1,
Okay.
and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay, yeah, this is going to be great. I mean, we're going to have 5 trailers next week of big movies for the year.
There's the movies. There's also a Knuckles trailer
Oh, there's a Knuckles trailer. Okay, for the game, right?
for the show.
Oh, for the show.
Sonic
for
show.
the Sonic show.
Sonic spin-off show.
But no, I mean, they did, you know, let's hope. I mean, last year's big trailer was The Flash. Did not do so well, obviously. But let's hope that yeah, I'm excited to see. I think I'm excited to see the Wicked trailer. I'm excited to see Deadpool 3 trailer. Yeah, that's exciting. This Sunday's going to be fun. Doesn't see how those go off. And did we get any other new trailers this week? I'm trying to think.
I don't believe so, no.
Okay. I'm sure, I think there's one out there I saw. I'm not 100% sure, though.
But next, David Leitch is in talks to direct the new Jurassic World
Yes, and that's already been confirmed, too. There's going to be
Yes.
that one next year, I believe, actually. 2025, yeah.
movie. Yes. So, he's directed Bullet Train, The Fall Guy, Deadpool 2.
Yeah. John Wick a little bit?
John Wick a little bit,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, so I mean...
Violent Night.
Oh, he did do Violent Night. Nice.
We watched that.
Yeah, so I think he was
Nobody.
actually... Was he the one who was a stuntman for a while? I believe he was a stuntman
Yes,
for a
he
long
was.
time, and he's turned, worked in the director role.
He was a stunt coordinator.
That's what it was.
Yes.
No, but I think that's super exciting that he's going to take over that, and it's going to be another take on it. And honestly, I didn't realize how well it did for us last year. We only had it a couple weeks, and we probably should have had it for like 3 or 4 more. It's got a huge following.
Huge following.
I think it was, and honestly, when you look at the numbers from last year, I think it was top 5.
Really?
It was top 5. It was top 5, I think, last year for sure. It may have got kicked out by a few, but yeah. So that is huge for that franchise, and it's. I think it's going to be strong. You know, it's going to be interesting to see his take on it. You know, compared to the other ones, because is it going to be more action, or is it going to be, you know, is he trying to branch out a little bit away from that action to, you know, see what else he can do, or maybe he's gonna, you know, if he is a stunt coordinator, you know, that takes a lot of. He spent a lot of time working with those types of things, you know, so you're going to see a different perspective than what we've seen before with that.
Yeah.
So that's good news, though. I'm excited for that.
Yeah. So that leads into our next one. Superman Legacy and Jurassic World will be releasing within 1 week of each other.
I saw that.
As of right now.
I don't think it's going to happen.
You don't think so?
No, I mean...
Jurassic World, July 2nd, 2025.
If it's July, maybe.
Superman, July 9th, 2025.
If it's July, maybe. July is a big month for the box office.
Yeah.
All the big hits come out then. It's... Yeah, they're gonna. I mean, they call it a box office fight, but the studios have gotten better, especially with less content coming out. So the content has gone. I think at one point I read that there was 1,100 movies in 2019 that came out in theaters, and then I think last year we were down to 600. So a lot of that's from streaming taking some of that content. But a lot of it's just because the writer strikes. A lot of it too.
COVID stopped everything.
So I think that's gonna. A lot of studios have said, hey, we have a little bit more leg room now to kind of say, hey, we can go a week later and be okay, you know? And they try not to step on each other's toes. That's what we saw this year with Ghostbusters moving, Planet of the Apes moving, and a few other ones. Just kind of, they want to, I think everybody's looking for about 2 weeks. They all want the 2 weeks of their own, of being number one, you know, is what they're looking for, you know? So, but yeah, I mean, Superman Legacy next year, that's exciting. I can't wait to see a trailer for that.
Yeah.
So,
up next, Josh Brolin heard that Thanos will be returning.
I saw that, and I was wondering what was going on.
The grapevine that they're going to bring him back. So,
and I'm guessing he's okay with that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
I mean,
what, his 2 biggest roles were with Marvel?
Yeah. Two of his biggest roles,
Cable
definitely.
And Thanos, like, he did good.
He did
good in Dune.
He's been around forever.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in Goonies. Did you know that?
I did not.
He
still haven't seen Goonies.
Okay. he was in Goonies. He's been around for a long time. You know, No Country for Old Men is another serious role.
Yep.
And yeah, great, good for him. You know, if they're gonna bring Thanos back, I wonder Thanos or Thanos. What is it?
Thanos.
Oh, we also gotta make a correction for the past 3 weeks.
You have to.
Henry Cavill, not Cavill.
Yep.
Henry Cavill.
Yes.
And Trevor says that he's going to correct me every time I'm wrong from now on.
I'm not going to, because I didn't just correct him then, that we went over this last episode.
Oh, did we? Yes. So, Thanos. Yeah, he was, you know, and honestly, like, I didn't get tired of him throughout the Avengers.
No.
You know? They brought him in enough and pulled him back, and brought him and pulled him back, and they brought other characters, and it was nice. It was, you didn't get tired of seeing it. Like in
you got to see that he was a huge threat from the very beginning, and they built him up.
Yes,
that's the big issue that they're struggling with right now, is that they're not building up.
No, and especially with Jonathan Major's trouble with Kang, you know, and that's a little bit of news too. I thought that they were kind of looking to recast that now.
Maybe,
so I mean, really? I have to see that. I have to double check that, but it was something about recasting. I think I saw a meme with Denzel Washington. And I got a little excited, a little too excited. I was like, let's get me real.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, I mean, I don't think I'm done with Thanos. No, I think I can watch another with it. I'd even watch a Thanos movie, you know, I think, you know. Mm-hmm. He was such an interesting character, just him sitting in space was like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Up next, Coraline re-releasing in the theaters this August.
Re-releasing?
Yes, and it's remastered.
Remastered. I don't think I've ever seen Coraline.
I haven't either. I've seen bits and pieces of it. I remember I started to watch it when I was a kid.
When did it come out? Is it a TV series or was it a movie?
It was a movie.
I've heard of it before.
It was a big 2009. It was a big movie for people my age.
Okay.
It really was. It was for people around my age. It was our introduction into horror.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
So it's a PG horror fantasy movie.
PG.
Yes.
Okay, nice.
And
That's also been really big lately too. Is I think the studios are realizing they could sell a lot more tickets if it's PG-13 horror movie.
yeah.
And I think that's what they're leaning towards. You're still going to have your rated R horror movies, but they've realized that, hey, we can do PG-13 and get a lot more ticket sales, and you know, I think that's the way they're going. So this sounds like it fits right in with with the studio's models.
Mm-hmm. Final piece of news today.
Final news.
All right. Dave Bautista and Samuel L. Jackson will star in Afterburn. The film follows a treasure hunter and a freedom fighter who must recover the Mona Lisa in a world set 10 years after a solar flare has wiped out technology across the world.
Wow.
So
when is that coming out?
I don't know. I don't know.
That sounds exciting. It gives me National Treasure vibes with Nicolas Cage. So I mean, that sounds Indiana Jones, National Treasure vibes. Mm-hmm. And it's Denzel Washington? Or Samuel L. Jackson?
Jackson. Yes.
And Dave Bautista.
Oh,
wonderful.
Has the two leads.
It's called Afterburn?
Afterburn.
Nice.
So that's going to be, there's going to be good comedy between those two.
Oh, yeah.
I think they'd have great chemistry.
You do? Yeah.
Yeah,
Dave Bautista's, you know, he wasn't in a lot of Dune, as he wasn't part of Dune, but I'm sure he's in a lot of Dune too. I'm guessing.
Think so, yeah.
So, yeah, that's the news for this week. Should we get into let's do our top 5 first.
Top 5.
Top 5 for the year is what we're going to
start, please.
Okay, in first place, I think for the year 2024, I'm going with Indespicable Me.
Indespicable Me?
And Despicable Me 4, sorry. Despicable Me 4. I don't know why I would say Indespicable, but Despicable Me 4. And just because that series is so strong, the kids love it, and I'll give it that. But I think that'll be the top by not by much. I don't think anything's gonna break out like Maverick or Barbie. I really don't.
No.
Or Oppenheimer. I really don't feel that this year yet. You know. So number 1 is Despicable Me 4. Number 2, I'm going with Deadpool 3. I think that's gonna crush.
Okay.
Number 3, I'm gonna give it to Dune 2. I mean, after watching Dune, I think Dune 2 is gonna break out. It's close one. I think it's gonna do very well, very well. Number 4, this is for my wife. I think Wicked. I think Wicked has a huge following. It could tap into the Wizard of Oz group, and Ariana Grande, I think, is the star of it.
Okay.
And with the response we got from Taylor Swift last year, you know, this could be huge from her fan base too.
Yep.
And then number 5 is a toss-up. I want to say Inside Out 2, but I'm going off of the hype that I've seen from it. Mm-hmm. But I'm also going to throw Mufasa in there too.
Okay.
I think Disney has screwed up enough in some things that they're going to figure it out this time, and they're going to put out a solid product with Mufasa at the end of the year. So that's my top 5.5.
I think we're looking Despicable Me.
Okay.
Number 1.
Same. Nice.
Yep. Number 2, I think we're going to get Inside Out.
Inside Out 2, you think?
Inside Out
I believe that's what.
Number 2.
A lot of hype there.
Number 3, it's not going to be Dune. I think Dune's 5. I'm putting Dune at 5.
I can see that.
Deadpool 3 and 3.
Deadpool 3 and 3. Okay. 4.
4, Sonic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I won't go against it. I mean, I think the second one did well. I don't know what place it got for that year for 2023, but you can look that up if you want. So Dune 5, Dune 2 number 5, Sonic in 4th place for the year.
Yes.
I think that's solid. I think we're both on the same page there.
Sonic 2 did $405.4 million in the box office.
Yeah, I wonder what place it was. It's huge. Huge. I don't think anything else has room to break out. I don't think Furiosa or any of the other ones. The only one that I could possibly see having some room and some room to grow. There's 2 actually. Now I think about it. Gladiator 2.
Okay.
If it does well, the first one was iconic and a lot of people followed it and have enjoyed it. But then also Beetlejuice. It's coming out in September.
Yep.
A month for all the movies. It could hit first place every weekend that year. You know, I don't know how it's going to do overseas, but we'll see. Otherwise, I don't think anything else has the guts to break out or has the room to grow like our top 5. We'll see though. You know, you never. It's always. I mean, the past couple of years have shown me that there's it's a surprise to see what comes out and does well. You know, like, I mean, Top Gun Maverick blew everybody away. The Barbenheimer thing was huge. So what place was Sonic that year?
Sonic was 14th.
14th, okay.
But you have to think, what did it go up against? It went up against Avatar: The Way of Water,
Okay.
Top Gun Maverick, Jurassic World, Doctor Strange, Minions, Black Panther, The Batman, Thor,
The Batman,
Puss in Boots,
Wonderful
Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, so it had a lot of competition.
It had a lot of competition, and this year,
Yeah, I can see your being right there. I can see that the competition is not as strong as that year.
yeah.
Plus, I think there's going to be more hype for it too. This one, you know.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes
the best Sonic game. It's based off the best Sonic game ever made.
Sometimes movies get better as they get old.
Yes.
Or as they go down the first, second, third. Sometimes they get worse.
Most times they get
Most
worse.
most of the okay, yeah. So, the Equalizer series is one that I've read that it's been ironically equal.
Okay.
The same number. They've made the same amount of money for each episode. It's been equal, you know. So, yeah, Sonic 3. Okay. Yeah, I think we're on the right page though. I think you and I agree though. Despicable Me 4 is gonna
crush, and then Disney this year is going to kill.
with Inside Out 2. You think?
Inside Out 2, Leo.
Is it? I don't think it's coming out this year.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it got pushed back to 2025. Either way, you know, Mufasa as well. What else do they got coming out? They got Mufasa, and then I think they're doing Planet of the Apes as Disney as well.
Yep. That's
So, I mean-
Fox. Yeah.
So they might have some good pull this year. So, can we talk about Dune yet?
Let's go. Let's do it. All right. You'd start talking about Dune.
I was so happy watching this movie. It's I told Trevor the other day, it's one of my top movies. It passed Top Gun Maverick for me over the past 5 years. I loved every minute of it. I thought it was wonderful. I can't wait for Dune 2 to come out. And it saddens me because I would they had the old Dune. I know my dad liked that. I've heard the books are wonderful as well. And I knew for the longest time I need to watch this. I need to read it because I knew I would like it, you know. But after watching this version of it, I was blown away. This movie was everything that Rebel Moon wanted to be, sadly, you know. I watched this movie and I went, oh man, this is what Rebel Moon wanted to be, but it was nowhere near. You know, the storytelling, the music, the scenery, the costumes, the just everything about it. The star power, just everything. I was actually blown away. You know, there was, of course, I saw some other previous like Star Wars references that I felt like were common, you know, and I didn't care about that because that was at the time that's what it was back in the day.
Yeah.
But I mean, just I'm so excited for number 2 now. I think I put it at about a 9 on IMDb. It's at an 8.0 right now. I think that'll go higher though. I loved it. I loved there wasn't a weak part of it to me. I want to rewatch it again this year. I'm so sad I haven't been involved in this world for the past 30, 40 years since it came out because it's right up my alley. I was in high school. I read a lot of fantasy books, so Lord of the Rings. My favorite author was David Gemmell. He had a bunch of different fantasy series, and it has that element of fantasy and sci-fi to it that I really enjoyed. You know, and it didn't feel like they did an excellent job at world building. It didn't feel like, oh, you're watching another sci-fi movie, you know. They had each race, each character had elements to it. They had their own way they had to live. They had their own reasons, and all the technology was different, but could work as well. Like the Dragonfly helicopters, I thought were so cool, so well done, and I love the interior of them. Wasn't just a high tech, just visuals and just digital buds. They were
real.
They were physical buds.
Yeah.
You know? It reminded me of Star Wars a little bit, where they were actually physical buds. Like, oh my gosh, like it really did a great job of putting you in that environment and understanding it a lot. Yeah. The story could get a little confusing as far as who was doing what at some points, but I got there at the end, and I could take some time double checking it. Just learning all the names and the pronunciations were a little bit like, okay, who's that person? Where are they from? Where's the alliance? And I love seeing it had some old school like medieval stuff too, where there was allegiances and there was kings and a hierarchy a little bit. You know, I wouldn't say kings, but just people who ran the country based on their lineage. You know.
Yep.
I loved Timothy in it. He was great. I loved. They call him the young kid's name, Timothy. You know, and I was watching this, and Taki was like, "Is that Wonka?" And I was like, "Yes, but it's a different movie." Yeah. But he was also younger in this than Wonka too, I think. So he was a lot younger than this. So, but I love seeing that cross line. He was born between both worlds, and the visions were cool to see. I mean, overall, I'm so excited, and I knew that number 2 was coming out, so I knew where they were going at the end of this one, and I was like, okay, this is great. You know, like I'm so excited to see Dune 2. I can't wait to see it in theaters. Like I'm definitely gonna make sure I watch it in the theater this time.
Yeah, and we discussed this a little bit that we might watch it and then come straight out afterwards and do a little review.
Yeah, we'll do a quick
do it 15, 20, 30 minute long talk about it.
That's the plan. I think it was. I was blown away by it. You know, I didn't realize I heard about it. I think it was much better than people told me last. And then people said it was good, you know, but I didn't realize how good it was. You know, they may change at the rewatch once I start dissecting it more, but I loved every minute of it. Okay, that's great. How did you feel about it?
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Ouch. Ouch.
I know.
Okay.
I know. I knew you were not gonna like it.
What's your reasoning? Go ahead.
I just really couldn't connect with anyone. All right. It was all over the place, and I loved it that it was all over the place. It was
all over the place, I'll give you that.
I understood the story. Story was good.
Yeah.
I think if they do it right, the second one is going to be an 11 out of 10.
Okay.
I have such high hopes for it.
Mm-hmm.
This one was not... It was a very
strong,
very important movie.
I can see that.
But the next one is going to be so much better because that's what this movie did. It set up
everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
For the next 2, 3, 4 movies. However many.
I don't know how it's going.
I know they at least have a trilogy. I know that.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'm real excited now. Yeah.
So it's I give this one a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
All right. But in any other case, it would be really high up, but I just didn't connect with it. I didn't like it.
I felt like it was slow at times.
It was slow at times, but it wasn't slow enough to lose interest.
Yeah, you know, and the film, the cinematography was wonderful. Seeing the spice fields and the desert was beautiful. I thought, you know, I enjoyed those scenes. The Baron was creepy, and I loved his role in all this. A lot of star power. You had Jason Momoa fighting till the end. Josh Brolin was in there as well. They hinted you see Dave Bautista in a few scenes. And I think he's going to be
execution.
I think he's going to be heavily involved in the rest of the series. Yeah. You know, seeing all the interesting little tech that they had, whether it was the tooth that had poison, the poison little room, or whether it was the seekers they called them, that drilled through concrete basically. The scenes with the sandworm, you know, I felt a lot of reminiscing with Star Wars a little bit with the desert and the sandworm. It wasn't too much though, I felt. And
they did just enough. They hit it perfectly with the amount of stuff that they pulled from other franchises.
Yeah.
But
like the Emperor, they called the Emperor, you know, or the Empire, sorry.
But you have to think, like, this came out at a time where everyone was copying everyone.
Yeah, once Star Wars came out, there was numerous.
Did Dune come out before Star Wars? I think it did.
Look that up. I don't know. I bet the book came out before, but it was a. I mean, the what's it called? The Crystal Swords.
1965.
Oh wow! Okay. Yeah. The was it Crystal or Crisis swords? Crisis. The
little blades,
I love the weapons they used because they weren't your standard, you know, long samurai swords. There wasn't any real gun fights in it. It was a lot of blade fights, and they weren't long blades. They were like arm length, like machete style blades. Yeah, and I enjoyed seeing that fighting.
It was really cool to see like the tech that they had, where they could protect themselves,
the shields
from like fast attacks, where like you needed to time your attacks and get the perfect. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. That was really, really cool to see that. And then seeing Jason Momoa get back up after he'd been stabbed.
Yeah. That was
just with the right glow around him. That was great. I really liked that.
Yeah, the Atreides leader who died at the beginning, who died, Timothy's father. I thought, or Paul's father. I thought his role was great.
Yep.
And I like to see, and it was interesting. There was the scene right when he died is when Paul picked up the ring, you know. And there's still a lot of hidden stuff I don't know yet as far as the Bender guys where his voice carries. You know, there's that side of it. There's also the side of it where he is a Freeman, you know, or a Fremen. You know, he is a Fremen. He doesn't realize it yet, but he's had these dreams and these visions going forward, you know. And then he wins that. He tries to not kill that other Fremen at the end, but he has to follow the Amtel, the death ritual where it has to be to the death, and he makes that. His mother says he hasn't killed anyone before, you know, but then he realizes this is what he has to do, you know. And not only does he do it, he annihilates the guy, gets through all his defenses, and
he goes like his visions. They were wrong this time. Because don't you remember he had the visions of dying, losing and dying and being reborn.
Yeah,
but that never.
So the visions and the dreams we're still figuring that out too. Yeah, but I loved how he didn't just barely win; he annihilated them and really proved to all the other Fremens that hey, he could be the one, you know. And there's always that was another tie-in too, where he's the one, he's the chosen one, you know. You know, there's a lot of that. I don't mind that though. I think that's a common theme in movies. You know, that's a common plot device where there can only be one. You know, let's go back to Highlander and all kinds of stuff. You know, but I mean, it was just I felt they nailed it on a lot of things. You know, I can see if it was not your taste of films or not. I mean, it was kind of long too. Was it 2.5 hours?
2.5 hours, which I don't mind longer movies.
No, I don't think it felt long either. Honestly, you know, I mean, you know, if a movie's done right, it doesn't matter how long it is. I mean, Oppenheimer was also 2.5 hours. Didn't feel that long. You know,
Oppenheimer was 3 hours.
Was it 3 hours? I mean, so if a movie's done right, it's okay to be that long. And I think that's what more filmmakers need to do is say, hey, we're gonna write this story, and we're gonna tell it this way, and however long it's gonna be, that's how long it's gonna be. You know, now obviously they did part 2, they split up, so they had to figure out when it was gonna go. I don't know if they went based on the books or on the previous movie, because I think the previous movie was only one from 69. And I think it was, you know, they shortened it up, you know, so. I don't know, I just finished it recently, so I can't wait to deep dive and go into it a little bit more, you know. But I think it was, I could see why it was so popular. It's also selling really well in the premium formats and IMAX, stuff like that, which is unfortunate because we have the Budget Max projectors. I mean, they work, but we're an older theater, so it's I've considered maybe getting one nice projector, maybe not IMAX, but one nice projector just to have. Hey, this is our when Dune 2 comes out. It's going in the premiums, the back theater. You know, that's where it's going to go anyway. So that's our best theater.
Yeah.
But no, I thought. I mean, I can't rave enough about. I was so excited watching it throughout it, and like I feel like they did a really good job with everything. I didn't see any. I mean, I'm sure there's plot holes that I missed. But I'm
off the first watch or second watch, you won't see them.
And also like I'm excited to see like you could tell where he was going, that he was going to end up having to leave and go with the Fremen. You know, you kind of caught on to that throughout it, especially when they got separated from everybody else when the Harkin invaded Dune, and he got away with his mother. But you could tell, and now it's like the way they ended, like okay, now we know that there's these Fremen here, and we know there's over 1 million supposedly, you know. So he's gonna go from being technically the lord of the Atreides into this Fremen world, and he's already proven himself.
Yeah.
You know, plenty. Plus, everybody thinks he's the one.
He thinks he can.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, pretty much. So
he will have 2 worlds,
2 factions supporting. Yeah.
And it's like religion. Once you get enough support, you spread like wildfire to a bunch of other
100%. Yeah.
So
and then
it'll be an all-out galactic.
And that's what they led on to. That the Empire. They were saying that if they go to the council, that they can kick and actually he can become the emperor.
Yeah.
That's why that was cool too. You know.
I think that's where they're gonna go with it.
Yeah.
It's gonna become like a Galactic Civil
Of
War.
war, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So
I mean,
I think that'll be.
it's a lot, but for how much time they had and for what they did, I felt they got, like you said, I think you're right about that. I think Dune 2 is going to end, especially with if you have Christopher Nolan saying that too.
Yeah.
That I think the hype is going to be huge. And it may even, the only reason it may not be number one and break out this year is because it's a sequel. So people might,
Plus, how many people saw it in the theater?
They did. It did well. It just didn't do well here. I don't know if it advertised it as well or not. But I mean, and also, okay, so another thing is it came out day and date last year too. So it came out on HBO Max the same day it went into theaters. And it still did really well. That's why I think it's going to do much better this year. So the numbers...
Is it only released in the theaters?
Only theaters, yeah. I think not much is going... The last one that went on streaming and movie theaters at the same time was Five Nights at Freddy's.
Which was a big mistake.
Which I don't know if it's a big mistake.
That was a huge mistake from them. They could have made
the thing is,
so much more.
If they would have just... I mean, I don't know what the problem is with just waiting a week or two if you want to do that. Mm-hmm. Because the box office is going to bring in 800 million that first 2 weeks. Why sell yourself short? Because they're still gonna buy it 2 weeks later. So I don't know why they did that, but they have to have some numbers that say that it's good. Mm-hmm. But I'm so excited for Dune 2. I
am too.
I can't wait to. I'm gonna really try to explore that world a little bit more. Because it looks like one that I don't know why. It's been missing all my life, and now it's here.
I've been told my entire life that it's a crappy Star Wars film.
Really?
I'm a big Star Wars.
Oh, that's
nerd.
right. That's right. The six. He's dying on his Star Wars sword. We need to get Kevin really on this to see what he says.
I love Star Wars. Star Wars will forever be my
favorite. Of course.
But this was good.
I think this movie couldn't have been as good as it was without Star Wars. I'll give it that.
Exactly.
Which is great.
Yeah, they took a lot of inspiration and
homage.
And like you have to think about it in the filmmaker's mind. With George Lucas, he didn't know if he was going to make an episode 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But with this in mind,
the source is there. They know what. We know
that they're going to pump out at least another 2 movies. Yeah. So they're going to take the first one, meaning the first 2, building the world, building the story, building the characters, and then having one huge climactic end. Yeah. Kind of like Avengers, but not like that level of...
Correct. I think that's exactly right, and I think that's exactly what was wrong with Rebel Moon. Mm-hmm. I think Zack Snyder, he leaned too heavy on his action side of things and his big action sequences and big CGI sequences. I think if we would just give it a little bit more time to build, then I think it's. I think they did the right thing. They knew that it was going to be a little bit slower pace, but they did it right. They built the world, and now they did very well with it. And now they're just gonna. I think Dune 2 is gonna clean up.
I'm super excited.
Are you?
I'm super excited.
Even at a 610, he's still excited. Still excited.
Like I said, I think this will be an 11 out of 10 movie.
Yeah,
if they do it well, this will be a top tier movie.
Yeah. So let's go back to the director. What else has he directed? Because now, I mean, I really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed his style. I know there's a few movies I saw that he directed, but I'm not 100% sure.
Director. So Dennis, he has directed Blade Runner 2049.
Okay, I heard that was really good.
Arrival.
Have you seen Arrival?
I've seen bits and pieces. It scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, Arrival's I'm
not a fan of aliens.
Arrival's a sci-fi thriller. It had Jeremy Renner and Amy Adams, I think it is.
Yep.
And that was one of my favorite sci-fi movies. Just the way they is very similar to Contact, where they make contact with aliens. I enjoyed that, and it actually, looking back at it, the same cinematographer there too. Was done very well. What else?
Sicario.
Oh, you did Sicario.
Prisoners.
He did both Sicarios?
I haven't. Sicario.
I've seen a lot of clips of Sicario, and it looks intense. There's one scene where the under the radar American army or agents are at the Mexican border with some cartel members, and it's an intense scene. So I think I want to watch it, but I got to be ready for it sometimes. Okay. Yeah. So
Prisoners.
I've seen Prisoners.
It is, I think, my favorite crime movie of all time.
Is it a movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's see, I don't know if I can count the Beverly Hills Cop movies as crime. See if
it is.
Prisoners is my favorite crime movie.
There's a Beverly Hills movie is a cop movie.
It's a cop.
It's a cop movie. You know, that's the difference there. The cop / detective movie.
Yeah.
So those were very popular in the '80s. There was Turner and Hooch. Was it Tom Hanks or Jim Belushi and his dog? I think it was Tom Hanks, Turner and Hooch. But then there was there's a bunch. You had Arnold Schwarzenegger had cop movies. Sylvester had a bunch of cop movies.
Thanks. Yeah.
It was Hanks, yeah. But you said you did Prisoners.
Prisoners.
Okay.
Enemy.
Okay.
Polytechnique. Maelstrom. Next Floor. He did the second Scar. I'm sorry, that's my bad.
Oh, you did both. Okay.
Yeah, and Trumbuland from 2018, Happiness Bound from 2007. He hasn't done a bunch. That's like he's done a lot that has taken off, but he hasn't done. He has a lot of good to his name, but he doesn't have a lot.
Yeah, and he's definitely got his style too. I love how he's done, and it's great to know that he did Sicario too, so he can do those high tense. He's very good at thrillers and tension. I could tell.
Yeah.
So I know Sicario was definitely filled with that from what I've seen of it. And then this one, the tension just built.
The music is what really built the tension.
Yeah, I didn't bring over the score. I mean, the
strong part
was huge. You know,
did the music.
I mean, the score and just the feeling of it. You know, I can't imagine being in a theater and feeling it. And the sandworm, seeing the. I just love watching the sand fall. It wasn't like the worm came out like Tremor style, but it was just watching the fall away, and then all the teeth. You know, it was just, and then. You know, I thought that Timothy or Paul stopped it at one point, had control of it, and there was a vision of in there of somebody riding it. I don't know if he saw that, or if it was a vision or not, or if it was a different Fremen riding the actual.
That was a different Fremen riding, yeah.
So I don't know, and the thing is there only one sandworm? Is there?
No, there's
but there's
more.
one name though. They call it. It starts with an S. What they
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I don't know if that's one specific giant worm and there's other little ones. I don't know. I'm excited to deep dive it for sure.
The score is my favorite part. And it was actually done by my all-time favorite composer, Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer. I've heard of him. What else has he done?
He's done Interstellar.
Okay, yeah.
Gladiator, Inception, Dark Knight, Lion King, The Da Vinci Code, Last Samurai, Pearl Harbor, Pirates, all three of the Pirates Caribbean movie, Man of Steel. He's done.
Hans is the man.
Hans is the man.
Hans is the man. Yeah, he
did Maverick. He did Top Gun.
Oh, did he? He's done everything.
He did Rango. Amazing.
Yeah, he's one to follow. Then if he's composing in a movie, you want to watch it because whatever it is going to be great. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's done, and this one was the same thing. You know, it is very, and I love that feeling too. It's almost like a brooding feeling throughout the whole movie. His ability to create tension, and I'm sure that's why him and does he direct anything for Christopher Nolan? Oh yeah, Interstellar. You know,
Interstellar.
So I'm sure
Dark Knight, Inception.
Of course, yeah. So I mean, that's he is excellent in building tension for those thrillers. Mm-hmm. You know, I think he is. I dare to say he's a bigger key to the success of those movies than people give him credit for.
Yeah,
because that's. I mean,
he's like the most. He makes fantastic music.
Yeah. I think, and honestly, I think that's my favorite genre of film, too, if people are wondering, is thriller. I'm not a big horror movie, scary movie fan, but I love thrillers. I love that tension all the way to the end of the movie. You know, it really gets me hyped up.
So, and I don't know if you remember this last year or not, but one of the most catchy songs last year, the Burger King song. The Whopper, Whopper, Whopper song? No. So it was this Burger King ad, and it was a jingle that was everywhere for like 2 months. Okay. And it was done by Hans Zimmer.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So, because of how much it was reposted and how much it was talked about, it is debatably his biggest song ever. I'll let you listen to it afterwards. But it's.
I thought you were going to say Peaches from Mario.
No, but no, he's. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's
amazing stuff.
Good too. You know, I mean, this is real good news. And who's the production company behind it? I didn't even realize. Is it Warner Brothers?
Yeah.
Warner Brothers. Good for them. Warner Brothers, I mean, Disney's got some competition, you know, big time between Warner Brothers and Universal. They come out strong, you know.
They have been recently.
They've been very strong.
killing it.
Yeah. You know, and it's funny because Warner Bros. Isn't even leaning on DC to do it. You know, it's they're pushing it out on their own. You know. So I'm excited for Dune 2. I love the first one. I can't wait to dive deeper in it. Yeah, I mean, I think that's it for today.
I think so.
You know, we appreciate you guys listening.
Thank you.
Comment, like, share, subscribe, all that jazz.
What movie next week?
We can do Casablanca if we want. You know.
Casablanca. Okay.
I don't know. Let's. What are you thinking?
I don't know. We have to decide one right now.
Okay.
We can't keep doing this.
We can't keep doing this. Okay. We're gonna get a list. Hopefully, you guys can help us with that of movies to watch. Because we're only doing one a week right now. I may do a separate one at some point. When
I watched Dune, I watched 4 movies that
Did
day.
you really? What'd you watch that day?
So I started out with Dune.
Okay.
And then I went on to Ted 2.
Ted 2. Okay.
The Wedding Crashers.
Wedding Crashers, really?
I had a lot of fun.
Did you enjoy that?
That was really fun.
When Vince Vaughn's stuck in the house with a crazy girl.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a wonderful one.
And then Dumb Money.
I didn't watch. How was that?
That was really good.
Was it? I thought that was on my list.
Good.
Seth Rogen, right? No, it's
Seth Rogen has it. Paul Dano's the main character.
Paul Dano. Yeah, he's
Paul
a popular
Dano.
underground actor. Underground, I say, but nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. I've only watched Dune this week. I don't know. What were you thinking? Did you have anything in mind?
We could do Casablanca.
I mean, Casablanca's going to be here. It's an all-time great, you know? It'd be great to get that out to the world to say, hey, this is what two young people think of it, or one young person and one middle-aged person think of it, you know?
Yeah,
but
Casablanca would work, because I think if we shoot for a Valentine's Day release date.
Oh, for next week?
Yeah, for next week.
Yeah, Trevor and I are going to watch it together and share one bucket of popcorn and watch Casablanca.
There will be a little hole in the bottom of the
No. You got to cut that out.
So, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so Casablanca it is then?
Casablanca next
Okay, we'll go Casablanca. But please, guys, if you see any movie that we haven't seen or want us to just review that we have seen, let us know. We want to listen to our audience, you know?
Yes.
If any suggestions, throw it in the comments, throw it in an email, whatever, you know? But yeah, we're excited to continue to do this. It's been the best part of my week, most days.
Yep.
So, and we'll see you next week with Casablanca.
Next weekend with Casablanca.
Although I may watch Dune again. I don't know. It was that good. I'm definitely going to go do some research on it. Okay. You know, like I definitely want to explore the world. I wanted to see more of the world after I saw this movie. I was like, what else is out there? Because I know there's more that I don't know about yet.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. But we'll see you next week with Casablanca, guys.
Sounds good.
Oh, do we want to do a top 5 next week? Top five what?
Ooh, bottom 5.
Bottom 5.
We want
this week? No.
We want to do bottom 5. We'll take a look at the movies coming out this year. And we will do bottom 5.
There's 600 movies coming out.
Okay, but you know what I mean, like the top ones, like.
Okay, bottom 5 of the movies that are going to do more than $5 million on an opening weekend.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Okay, we'll do the bottom 5 next week.
Bottom 5 of like bigger like company movies.
Okay, we'll see you guys next week. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Peace.
Peace.